Do do do. Hey, good morning. Actually, good morning. Yeah, listen, this technology is always fun. Listen, my name's Rob Burke. This is the first episode of the Burke Brigade. I want to thank you for joining me. You know, it's funny with this technology. Everybody says it works, and when you put it all together, it's just aggravating. I got to tell you, So I'm going to be adding some things. This is great. Lower thirds. Tell people who I am. Just add a lower third. That's great. Rob Burke. Rob Burke. Go for a color here. It's unbelievable to get going, and all of a sudden, none of this stuff. You say, okay, let's go. Well, there I am, Rob Burke. So, how you doing, folks? I'm streaming live at on. Let me see. Obviously, my website at burkeforcongress.com, Facebook, and Twitter, and we're trying to go over the boundaries of this episode. The most important thing I can think about is have fun. We need to have fun out here. As I go out every day, I see people that are miserable, just angry. It's awful, and they can see the cognitive dissonance. They really don't know basically what's going on with them. But I can set this up by going back to let me see, 2022 when I first started running. Knocking on doors, not so much, but standing there with signs and talking to people. I think over the last two cycles, I've met probably about 5,000 people, of which 4,000, maybe almost 4,500 agree with me, and the other 500 just, hated everything I said. But that's just the name of the game, okay? We live in a crazy state. And so tonight, I'd like to start out the presentation. And what I'm going to try to do over the next, 20 weeks, every Sunday, come out with what did I do this week, and how can I help people come out and help me. I need you to help me. You can't sit in the house anymore, and that's why I'm talking about the new Republican Party. Um, Again, I've been to a lot of these meetings, not a lot, but just enough to get a flavor for the fact that I'm not getting any place with these people in the Republican Party. I don't care if they're these new people or the old people. They're not recruiting any young people. The young people are the most affected by what's going on. Again, can't buy a house, can't make any money, have a lousy job, and they're one button away from being out in the street. Terrible. So I'd like to read something, and just bear with me for a second here. And this was written for me, and I think it's really good because it sort of sums up where I'm going. The pessimist explains about, okay, this is a quote from John Maxwell. The pessimist complains about the wind. The optimist expects it to change. The leader adjusts the sails. That's John Maxwell. Nigel Farage started the Brexit campaign beginning by giving speeches just like this one to two or three people. The critics, the critics thought he was crazy to use this approach. I'm running for Congress on a very important issue, probably the most important issue, not just in the 8th congressional district, but in the whole wide world right now. And I have a message to win. What I need is some help, your help. When I say help, I don't need you to be standing out there all the time. I need you to get a sign. Put it in your front lawn, and don't worry about it. I had two people in the area I live in, Dedham, and they were concerned. Oh my God, people know. Every time I have this sign, an example would have been yesterday in Quincy on Flag Day. I had that sign along the parade route, and everybody in that parade saw me and they gave me a thumbs up. People that were standing there, they loved it. This is what it's all about, okay? So Nigel Farage, who is, you know, building every year more people, and now coming to defend the sovereignty of England. I'm trying to defend the sovereignty of the great state of Massachusetts in the 8th congressional district. I need volunteers. I need you. I need you to volunteer. Your actions will help my campaign and that call to action will echo 20 years down the road and helping to renew the new Massachusetts Republican Party. You know, a lot of people are at home playing with the keyboard. It doesn't work. People use different approaches. When you talk to somebody and you engage with them and you connect with them, that's what it's all about. I'm not a big churchgoer, but what happened today in church, I went to church, and that's something I've been doing lately because we're in a hell of a problem coming down the road here. I shook hands with people versus giving them the Vulcan handshake. I shook hands, and after the ceremony was over, the church was over, a lady said to me, "I'm so glad that you shook my hand. I really miss that." And I said to her, "I'm so glad I shook your hand because that's all I knew as growing up as a kid in church." Again, go back to this, okay? Campaigns help people. They help people develop new talents that they didn't know they had. Campaigns help parties because it shows they're not mired in the ways of the old Republican Party. And campaigns develop leaders who can become candidates for other offices for the party. For those reasons, I'm asking you basically to get on the ground floor of the new Republican Party in Massachusetts. Make no bones about it. I'm a Trump candidate. And like Trump candidates, like myself, we know how to win by just going out there and telling our great story, talking about how we're going to defend the sovereignty of the state of Massachusetts and not get overrun by invaders. If you look at the recent results in Europe and you look at the upcoming English election, you see that sovereignty is the main issue right now. You look at my sign back there. My sign says closed border, Burke, U.S. Congress. When I had that sign out there yesterday at the 73rd Flag Day Parade in Quincy, and it was a good time, by the way. It was actually well done. A lot of people participated in. One thing I didn't like about it, they put the Girl Scouts, the Boy Scouts, and all those people at the back of the parade. Don't like that. They had other things going on up front. I didn't like the fact that, the Girl Scouts, Boy Scouts, Cub Scouts, Brownies, they're Americana. As I said to a friend of mine who laughed at me, listen, I still love John Wayne. I still like peanut butter sandwiches, and I still like opening doors for little old ladies. That's America. All this other stuff is foreign to me. I'm not buying it. I'm not listening. I'm going on the offense. And what we really need to do is this. You folks, I go to these meetings and I don't see any young people. You got to drag those young people to these meetings. It's really important. It's all about them. I was at a place there, storage area, dropping off some things, and there was a car parked there, and the girl listened to her iPhone, whatever she was doing. In the back, she had a Republican elephant on the back of her windshield. They had just moved here from Texas, and they're looking to find some Republican people. And I talked to them. Both were in finance. I asked them a basic question about the following. One of the topics they're going to be discussing going down the road is obviously close that border. That's a security problem. We need to know, again, who these people are and what their intentions are. That's what I said back in 2022, a moratorium. Nothing's changed. Nothing's changed. And so when I was engaging these people, I said to them, so I'm going to give you a scenario about money. You're bringing in $4.5 trillion in revenue. You're spending $7 trillion. You have a $2.5 trillion structural deficit every year, and you have to finance it every 90 days, in which $1 trillion more comes in. What's your answer to stop that? He gave me a couple ones. That were okay. He was in the technical side of it, sounded like to me, but he said, we got to cut spending. We got to go back to prior to basically, COVID. And we got to vote for single individual appropriations. End of story. And we got to go through this stuff and say, wait a second, what's this for? No, I don't think so. I always use this example. You go to the grocery store and there's that itemized detail. You know what that is. You go shopping. Apples are a nickel, bananas are a quarter, cherries are 15 cents. Those grapes are $75,000. That's unbelievable, which leads me into one of the things I was talking about. The people up in Stoughton, fantastic. Lisa Lyons. She's as I understand, she deals with numbers. That's her job. She understands numbers, and those people fought that override, that special election to raise their taxes. Sorry, they came out swinging and they won by 500 votes. Now Braintree yesterday, I don't know what happened to them. They may just didn't try, or they don't know how to fight, and that's what something we have to teach people what it's all about. You stick up to these bullies, and you do not go anyplace, and you will win. You will win. They'll run away. These people are all cowards. See, we, the team that I'm trying to put together, are fighting for the republic because there's no place to go. The other team's fighting for their wallets. So come on, get on board with a winning campaign that will not only protect the sovereignty of Massachusetts, it will help make anew the Republican Party and help the 47th President of the United States, Donald J. Trump. That's fantastic. And every week, I'll have to go through a lot of different things, but having fun, talking about the border, talking about what's going on in our country. We're being left behind. We're being replaced by these people who we have no idea, and no one asked us. So when I talked to Lisa Lyons up in so people should reach out and talk to her, because she was strong enough with her team to stop that override. And in Braintree, who knows what happened there? We can't have that anymore. These people are going to roll over everybody. So we have issues. What I'd like to know, and again, you can call me. I'll put the 1-800-801-4231, or you can always send me an email, rob@burkeforcongress.com. Send me an email, okay? I had run into somebody over in West Roxbury, and they were talking to me about something. They took a couple signs. They're getting great compliments on this thing. Stop being afraid. These people, I'm telling you, they're wimps. They're crazy, but listen, you have no place to go, and you've got to fight this. I don't want to ramble. I want to stay on focus here. And again, having fun. Burke Brigade, what we do is this. You get one of these signs, and you stand there, get one of these T-shirts. These are nice T-shirts. People walk up to me all the time, and they go, I agree with that T-shirt. I agree with that sign back there. I'm not saying anything. Try to get their name, let them know they're not alone, and head them towards my website at burkeforcongress.com. And it's 820. So I'm just looking at a couple of social media things here, see if this is actually working the way I intended. What can I say? Let me see. This is crazy. I try to use this tech. There we are. I am live on Twitter. I appreciate that. We're live on Twitter. Brigade. What we do is this. You get one of these signs and you stand there. Get one of these Sorry about that. These are nice T-shirts. A little delay. People walk up to me all the time, and they go, I agree with it. So anyways, a couple things we could talk about is obviously the Stoughton and Braintree situation. To find out what happened there, please email me. And one of the things I want to do is the following. Stephen Lynch has been in Congress since 2001. That's 23 years. What I need is to have one person pick a year and go through what he did and what he voted for and what he voted against. So at the end of the day, we have this nice dossier of this guy. What is he there for? What does he do? And how we're getting crushed. The people in the private sector are getting destroyed. And another thing is, I'm going to basically do some FOIA work, and I want to know who works in these offices and what do they do. I've never talked to. Well, I've talked to some people at the front, and no. If you call Washington D.C., the people down there aren't from Boston. They're from someplace else. Who knows where they're from? So yeah, Burke Brigade. We're going to start from scratch. We have 20 weeks. So every week, I'll take a look at what I've done for the week and how I'm moving forward and how I can ask for your help. But you got to help me. I can't do this all by myself. I will if I have to. I have no problem doing that because I believe in what I'm doing. I don't have to make up anything. I'm living these policies. And when you do that, you don't have to make up a story. You don't have to do anything. You just have that sign, have that T-shirt on, close the border. Why? Because everything's incorporated in this border. And you think about what's happening in Europe, and the English elections coming up, and then there's the summit over in Switzerland, the G7. All of those people, except for I think the lady in Italy, have lost their elections. They're gone. It's the G losers. These are all losers. You can go right through the guy in France and England, Belgium, our own whatever his name is, Jojo. But understand, these other people, they're getting reckless and more reckless just to do anything they can to keep in power, and we can't have that. So um, to sit in the sideline and give me a like, that's great. Contact me. I'll sit down with you, just like Nigel Farage, and have a meeting with a couple people. That's all we need. A couple people in each town. One person to check out Steve Lynch's record, his record for what he did each year, and come up with a dossier, because I'm going to get to him in any way I can. And I'm going to ask them questions. I wish he was in Quincy last night, but he wasn't there. He wasn't there. Matter of fact, it was funny that the mail walked by me, and I said, "Close that border." I had the sign right there with a shirt on, and he goes, "I would." And I said, "Well, why don't you?" He goes, "It's out of my jurisdiction," or some nonsense, which is true. I said, "Don't worry, I'll do it. I'll post that video a little bit later." And the economy is going through the floor right now. We're close to going under $50 trillion in the hole, and these people just keep on spending. We'll be doing some audits over in the Ukraine too. I'll have Lynch do some audits. That's what do you want, buddy? That's the blind cat. If you hear me in the background, I got a blind cat I take care of. That's what. Quiet. This is unbelievable. What? She's talking to me. She actually talks to me now. But anyways, we want to know this question from Lynch. Hey, you keep on, and again, the Republicans, the Uniparty, keep on letting this guy off the hook over in the Ukraine. We've got a lot of moving parts here. Be quiet, will you, kitty? I'll give you some milk later. Over in the Ukraine, they've taken over maybe $190 billion, of which 44 trillion, I'm sorry, 190 something trillion, of which 44 trillion has been accounted for. We don't know where the rest is. We don't know what happened to it. And by the way, nothing's going to happen over there because the Ukrainians, the Nazis over there, can't get the 500,000 youth type age soldiers to fight this war. So what are they going to do? They're going to bring in NATO, and they're going to bring in American trainers. Joe Biden just signed that fake whatever it was, executive order for 10 years with the Ukraine. Day one, Trump goes in, ripped that stupid thing up. And the way they're going to do this is this. They're going to steal. They're going to steal the Russian money. Not the principal, but the interest. And they're going to look at it that way. And they're going to use that interest to give the Ukraine a loan. And that's how they're going to finance it. You think the Russians are going to stand for that? Oh, we're not going to steal your money. We're going to just steal the interest. This is nonsense. But the real issue is this. We're watching is this. I'm watching Taiwan. The distraction over in the Ukraine. You have your problems with the Ukraine. No kidding. Sex trafficking, selling body parts, biolabs, all the money laundering, all the regular stuff. Okay. But everybody wants you to look in the Ukraine. Oh, but they're not looking at our border. And the one to watch is in Taiwan. If the CCP decapitates Taiwan, we're in the Stone Age, folks. We got to be on top of these people for that type of activity and hold them accountable and make them answer questions. If Mr. Lynch, don't badmouth the guy, but on his policies, if everybody sends the voicemail, get his phone number and we'll start calling. I'll post his phone number. And that's the other thing I want to do is find out, okay, you have offices in Washington, D.C., you have offices in Boston, Brockton, and Quincy. How many people are there? What do they do? How much money do they make? That's just a simple FOIA. I don't think I can FOIA him personally, but that's okay. I'm not looking to do that. I'm just going to talk about the policies. But Burke's Brigade, hey, listen, the best thing we can do is be out there. You have a sign, a T-shirt on, and let's just go to town. Remember, mine's all federal money, so it's not. One of the things I'm going to do also is I'm going to put a FOIA in for all the towns, and I'm going to contact the towns and say, how much federal money are you getting? I need to know how much federal money you're getting, and we can pick a couple of years, whatever, and just FOIA them. Say, your revenue is this, and you budget this, and this is what the expenditures are. And sorry, how much federal money are we giving you? Some towns probably give more than others. Get more than others from Santa Steve, or Wall Street Steve, or not Wall Street, but State Street Steve, and that's the name of the game. You vote for me, I'll give you money. It's called the money pump. Yeah, I understand there's certain things you got to do. We looked at the reason in Braintree when I read the excuse the mayor did. Oh, well, we had to do this because our expenses went up. All our money things went. No kidding. You caused it. People in your party, lady. See, I don't think she's a Republican. I doubt it. But your policies caused you to spend more money because of the inflation. And now you want the regular citizens to pay for your mess. Who's getting this money? And why are you overspending? Cut back, like we have to do. It's all about money. And once we get this information, we can go forward. I mean, this is the first night of Burke's Brigade. And like I said, 1-800, I'm going to do a lower 30. I didn't have time to do this, but we're gonna add a lower third. And the 800 number, 1-800-701 4231. Save that. There it is. 1-800-701-4231. Usually, if you come in that, if you call that 800 number, I will get a voice message. So that's not a problem. And I just pick it off one of the accounts. And make sure you try to reach out and talk to me about this stuff. First time out, there's a lot to talk about. Everybody has their own little niches that they got to handle. But going back to Nigel Farage, okay, sovereignty. Oh, they're about 6 months ahead of us. The Europeans just wiped out all sorts of beautiful people. All the communists got wiped out. And what's happened is the youth vote. This is the time. The youth vote is coming Trump's way, or popular nationalists. That's what they are, popular nationalists with sound economic programs for growth. These kids need to have a future. These Democrats got to just make them serfs. They're one button away through AI, and you'll be out in the street. All these kids, and it's just the way it is. They use economics. They use food. These people use anything to stay in power. We can't have that. And now there's a war on farmland. I was looking at one of the guys talking about farmland. These foreign countries are buying up all our farmland. Can't have that either. There's so many things we can talk about. But talking about Massachusetts, making Massachusetts, we make sure that Massachusetts, okay, sovereignty is solid. We'll get rid of all the invaders. If elected, I will round these people up. After we get through there'll be the lawfare. I mean, you're on probation here for 10 years, but we'll find a way. We'll find a way by stepping on the air hose. No money. Sorry, you need money. You need money to support these people. And I'm guaranteeing they keep good documents on who these people are. We'll find out, won't we, pretty soon with Governor Healy, Michelle Wu, any of these cities that are getting government money, and whatever lie they tell you, because all they do is lie. They lie about everything. They don't remember the lies they told you yesterday. They're just lying. Expect that. Whatever they say, I don't believe you. I don't believe you. Prove it. I need receipts, proof. I need the data. I need all those things that you can't give me. So why should I believe you? You don't get any money until you can explain to me where that money's gone, who's got it, how it was spent, and why do you need it? Show me how. We all work with our own budgets, and Hey, I'm getting crushed right now. Be honest with you, I'm getting crushed. Everything's going so fast on me now. All little things at once: food, utilities, my car insurance. I'll give you a crazy story. I'm getting my car fixed. The dealer is a major dealer with a major car, and I've had a car rental for almost, let's see, 7 months because they can't get parts. Supply chain. That's where we want to make everything here. Brockton, if you're listening, love to make Brockton the manufacturing hub of Massachusetts Congressional District 8. And we got to fight like hell. The other team isn't that bright, but they're relentless. And when you remember that when you realize that these people hate you, they hate you, you're free of them. Oh, you hate me? Is that it? Oh, Jesus. Big deal. Okay, we're moving on. And it's a battle of ideas. And we go back to let's go back to when the Pilgrims landed. Okay, the Pilgrims landed down in Plymouth. They used a system that the community, the commune, they all sort of worked together, and they almost died. It was only when they went after the capitalists, they turned into capitalists and did their own thing, that they survived. And this is what's great about our country. We're in the private sector. We can do this. Just go back to gathering those signatures. Myself and a friend of mine gathered this time around. Before I had some help for the girls that helped me. Thank you very much, ladies. Did a great job. This time around, went back out. And we held that sign, closed border. And their heads exploded. But they all wanted to sign up to get on the ballot for me. They all helped me. I learned so much from these people. I talked to so many people. I didn't go out and have people buy my signatures. I didn't have people do it for me. I went out with a friend of mine, and we just hammered it out. It was fantastic. And I had people come up to me and say, I remember you from 2022. So it's all there. We've already done the legwork. I need good ideas from people like yourself at home. Don't sit at home. Don't wait for someone else to do it. The Republican Party is not going to be able to do anything. Performative. I went to that thing out in Dedham. I was so disappointed. All they did was talk about statistics. Forget about that. We already know that stuff. That's all news. I don't need some guy from Virginia coming in. Why don't we just go to the Boston Police Department? Go to Brockton Police. Go do a ride around. Demand a ride around. Go down to some of these police departments, and they'll tell you what's going on. You can see a lot of crime out there. They have a good job. That's an opportunity not to go into the crime world. But right now, there's no choice. And we have all these people. We have no idea who they are. None. Sorry, I'm not buying that nonsense. Not going to happen. Anyways, it's the time is 8:33. We're going to be buttoning this up pretty soon. So Burke Brigade every Sunday, half hour, probably maybe a bit less. Try to be condensed. I need input from you. I need help from you folks. I need you people to help me. Jeepers, help me, will you? I'm the one put my neck out. If you want to be, you can come on. I'll put the voice changer on you. I'll put the voice, or I put the blue dot on you. I need you to come in and report on your town. If you want, send me an email on Wednesday. Hey, I'm reporting from Easton. This is what's going on, and I'll broadcast it. I'll broadcast it. We want people in the 8th Congressional District. We get 20 towns and half the city of Boston. I have 750,000 Americans that we have an opportunity to help. Listen, there are people who are just voting for the wall. I can't help it. I'm not going to worry about it. All I know is this: the private sector. If you're in the private sector, you're with me. If you work in the private sector and own a business, you're definitely with me. If you have people in sports, especially women in sports, you're definitely with me. If you own a firearm, you're definitely with me. And if you like the American way of life, you're definitely with me. I'm not listening to any of this noise about this happy talk with people. And again, I steal lines from people, so I appreciate it. Thanks, Steve Bannon. That's one of his favorite lines, happy talk. No happy talk here. So I'll be out there going forward, doing a lot of standouts, trying to get this technology up to speed so we can have a communication. Obviously, I'm going to do one more. Let me see this. Let me see. Add another lower third. And contact me at Rob at Burke for Congress.com. Gotta save that bad boy. And let's save it. Yeah, get in touch with Rob at BurkeForCongress.com. Call me at 800-701-4231 and voice messages. I'll get that too. And, going forward, we're on our own, folks. We're on our own. Closed border Burke. That's going to work. That's a good sign. It works. Okay. Like I said, we're going to have some fun. We'll do some FOIA work. Find out. It'd be really important if I can get 20 people, one from each town in my district, to go and look at 1 year and say, okay, what did he vote for? What did he vote against? How did he help me? How did he hurt me? Do you think he's going to remember 20 years? He's never voted for a single issue appropriation bill. He's always getting let off the hook recently by the unit. But we are still using Nancy Pelosi's budget. Bad news. Hey, listen, I'm going to sign off now. We're about 34 minutes into the Burke Brigade, and we'll get better as we go. I'll have a better format going down the road, coming up with a topic that makes sense, and keeping an eyeball on our district, okay? And like I said, Nigel Farage, he Brexit, 2 or 3 people. Meet and greets are great. I'd be happy to come down and meet and greet with you. And just sit down. I need to know what you're thinking about so we can move forward, because every town's different. Every town is different. And I've been to all of them. And it never ceases to amaze me when I'm standing there. People walk up to me all the time and they ask me great questions. And I said, hey, can't stay at home anymore. You got to come out. Stop worrying about anybody getting upset, okay? I'm going to sign off right now. This is Rob Burke, Burke for Congress. Close border Burke, U.S. Congress. Burke, number 4, Congress.com. Reach out and touch me, okay? Thanks for listening.